Hello everybody, once again, this is AikawaKazu and welcome back to another Maple Story 2 video here. This will be Mark 52 Omega showcase and guide on my knight. So apologies for the lack of Maple Story 2 videos recently because I was busy with Dota 2 team trading and all that kind of stuff. But also it takes time to level my knight to level 50 as well, so it took a while. Apologies for that. But Mark 52 Omega, ladies and gentlemen, the first and supposedly the easiest level 50 party quest or 10-man raid that you can have at level 50 cap right now, which has a pre-quest which you need to complete here. As you can see, the trophy requirement, which is an achievement requirement here. Very simple pre-quest. Links for the guide to that pre-quest will be in the description below, as well as the Bajar specific equipment that you can, not Bajar, Mark 52 Omega specific equipment that you can actually get, which I just got one here. It's pretty good, but the base block is actually lower compared to the one on the left, but this has better overall stats, crit rate 10 and total damage increase 1.3%. Anyways, so I also have links for the image for the drops that Omega 52 can drop in the description below as well, so check those out. If not, I'll see you guys in the run itself. It is a very simple boss or raid if you actually did Mark 52 beta back in 30 cap days, and the good news is that there is no moving around in platforms like the one in 30 cap. This is just one platform, but you can imagine it as Mark 52 alpha and beta, or beta, whichever one you want to call it, beta, combined into one boss. And of course Mark 52 Omega looks like Mega Man, and he drops Mega Man look-alike related helmets. So we will see if we are lucky enough to get this in this run. If not, I did a previous run and I managed to hit 1.9 million total damage share, 5th on the damage charts, but don't expect me to be top D as I'm still using level, or rather +6 and +5 blues. I just pick any random guy, you will see purple, because again I was busy. A lot of the Koreans have already done this many times, and as usual, make sure you get your party buffs up before you get in. If not, this should be a pretty easy run here, just waiting for the usual 3-2-1 call from the party leader. Hopefully he does that. But I'll be going through with you guys all the stuff that you need to know, as well as some night, I won't say exclusive, but night specific things that you can. Oh, the guy got kicked, I think, or he left, so we cannot go in yet. Let's try to help this guy advertise here. Let's look at our last member very quickly. So a lot of things have changed for Maple Story 2. You see this white text behind the so-called party finder thing, right? You can actually click on it and automatically join a party. So this guy has the, if I am not wrong, the Forgotten Bajar weapon. And all this pretty good stats. 11 dex, which is very useful for heavy gunners. It's part of their main stats. You can see it's 3 at 5 here. And boss damage increase 2.6%. Definitely pretty good here. We went attack speed as well, which is one I'm actually currently spec'd for. I have plus 13% attack speed, but that's because I have a 4% blue weapon, and if I try to get a purple 4% attack speed weapon, it will cost me 20 mil, so it's hard, but we are going in. I'm not too sure if the other guy is actually here. Okay, cool television is here, so let's go. So for the first 10% HP bar of the boss, it's your usual Mark 52 boss attacks, AoE explosions. Try to get the user buff to it, yeah. And the things that will get you killed in Mark 52 Omega, as usual, mines very quickly from the start. So first 10%, you're looking at dives, mines, lasers, AoE explosions. And once it hit 90% HP, you can actually do the Mark 52 beta, that skill, the electric barrier skill, and he'll start tracking people. So start watching out for that, but usually he will jump to one corner of the map, which is right now. Before he does that, oh, actually accidentally used the teleporter. Didn't want to do that. There you go, electric barrier. And this one's a lot shorter compared to the beta version, so just wait until it is over. Make use of the teleporters if you need to get around. Don't try to dash across the lasers, even though you can. If you have a bling, that's fine. But Knights one are quite reliable, but sometimes it will fail you, so it'll be very unfortunate if when you get killed by, you know, the burn marks on the floor. especially the big ones. The small ones should be no problem to get out from, but the big ones, the ones where he fires from the 4 corners, are the ones that you need to watch out for. So from now until 60% HP is pretty much the same thing. He'll fire lasers, he'll fire some pulses, he'll jump around, he'll dive around, he'll throw mines. Alright, he goes to the left corner this time. So there are 3 corners that you can do. That's one corner, the other corner is here, and the last corner is on the top right, where you can jump to fire the main lasers. Just know the positions so you know when to anticipate them. So it should be over. I go over the other side. Continue pounding on the boss. So as you can see, this boss is not exactly very melee friendly because all the laser burn marks. Especially the first 40%, it's not very friendly because of the electric barrier. Range classes really need to, step up their game and be in charge, And then melee classes can take over later on when things get a bit crazy with the mines and the lasers everywhere. So we're still about 10% short. And this run is actually pretty close. As usual, 10-man raid, you have 10 minutes, right? So 10% every minute is what you're looking at every time. Lasers. Got caught by this one. So always try to avoid a huge part of the trajectory because you can see that the laser marks is like at that line, right? But when he fires it, the AOV from his gun is, I would say, larger because it comes up from his cannons itself, or the laser cannons itself, and they point them into a direction which doesn't look like where the laser marks come up from. So they can be pretty tricky, and sometimes you die from those and you feel that it's very unfair. I'm put out my Knight's Will here because I know that the electric field is going down. So I hit 60% here. We have our electric shock Kaiser. And this one's a bit scarier. You can see he has an electric field barrier around him, and this time he actually jumps around. So the best place to stand is actually near the central of the map once he lands in the corner, as you can see where I am right now. Because if he jumps to any of the 4 corners of the map, you'll be able to react to it. And right now, you need to get him down to 50% ASAP, and he will actually stop straight away. But what you need to watch out for is when he has an electric barrier up on his body, when he actually dives, which he can during that period of time, which he didn't in this run, when he knocks into you, you'll actually get the electrocution debuff, so you don't want that to happen. So as a knight, here's the knight specific moment. You can see I managed to proc my counter buff actively with my level 44 active skill. It's one of the knight's new skills here, to actively proc your counter passive buff, which gives you 5 seconds of 100% crit rate. You really want to make use of that. So the YOLO here, to go through the laser. Usually what you want to do is to go through the teleporters, but you can see the top teleporter there is flooded with mines and burn marks. So I took the risk here. Watch out for the lasers again. So things that kill you in Mark 52, Omega, Alpha or Beta, is always lasers, mines. Those are the things that usually kill you. So the boss has around 18 million HP. As a DPS, what you're looking at is you want to do around 1.8 million. So you have 10 guys that do 1.8 million damage. Boss is dead. So 50% HP I didn't mention just now is he will jump to this corner and he will jump to the left corner. So get some SP, don't get killed by the lasers, position yourself at the center, get your free buff up. So how the buff skill works is that if you actually use it on the boss, and if you're hit by any attack during the 0.5 seconds after the skill, there's a specific duration, it will actually proc your buff. Anything before, you wouldn't get it. Anything after, you wouldn't get it. So this is where I want to use the teleporter here. So the teleporter is always very useful. Anyway, regarding level 44 skill, if you are hit by an enemy attack, 0.5 seconds, you have a window period of up to 0.5 seconds after you cast it, then you'll get your counter buff to proc. You will not get a block, but you will get your buff to proc. So as a knight, to ramp up your DPS, that is what you actually need to do. You try to actively use it. It has a pretty okay cooldown. Not crazily short, but not crazily long as well. I think it's about 10 seconds. So here again, come to the center. So about 14 seconds cooldown, I think, if I saw it correctly. And once he hit 20%, he will cast 2 sets of mines, and this is where the boss attack pattern will change. 2 sets of mines. I want to get the wizard buff here. I'm thinking of using the teleporter. Alright, 3 counter buff procs and holo symbol, awesome. So this team, right, you can see everyone is doing 1.8 million very early, and you can see straight up the boss is almost dead. We have about at least a minute to spare after we kill it. So from 20% and below, it will be 2 sets of mines, and then it will fly amidst all the usual basic attacks they will do. And that will be it. 20% to 0%. There is no, demolition module thing that we saw in beta. This diving part, he'll dive 3 times. 1. So when people are dodging dives, they step into mines, and that's what gets people killed. So just make sure that doesn't happen to you. And as a melee Knight's Will, there we go, saving people here. Boss dies. I get 2 drops here, but none of them is the Mark 52 Omega, but it's still pretty cool. Again, I guess video recording, streamer buff, So I did about 1.6 million in this run, but the rest, I think a lot of them, I'm 8th position here, and I think the rest of them from 7th to 1st definitely are doing around 1.8 to 2.1. So very simple Mark 52 Omega. I'm just going to run down, do a quick recap here of what happens. First 10% easy, watch out for your usual lasers, your AoE explosions, your mines. They are cast in a 360 fashion, so especially range classes, don't step into them. 90% to 60% he will cast his electric barrier or tracking. Alright. And 60% electric AikawaKazu, which is his electric field that you need to watch out for. This time his body will be enveloped by electricity, so when he dives, do not bang into those dives because you'll get the electrocution debuff, and this time he will actually jump to one of the 4 corners before he casts his electric field, so make sure that you're always positioned close to the center of the map so that you can actually react in time not to get caught by electricity debuff. If you have 2 stacks and above, you'll usually die from the laser or the the pulses that you fire in those phases, but that's a very short 10% phase which you can burn through very quickly here. 50% HP to 20%, you will jump to 2 corners of the map, always the same 2 corners, fire 2 crisscrossing lasers, and then jump back to the center, summon mines, dives, and then from 20% and below he'll do 2 sets of mines, he'll dive 3 times, and he will cast his AoE explosions, lasers, and his usual attacks. So once you get into 20%, should be fine. And plus 5 blues should be enough if everybody do about 1 million damage per person. 10% will be 18 million, and that will be the boss going down. So hope you guys, as usual, enjoy this short and simple video for Mark 52 Omega. My name has been AikawaKazu. Thanks for watching once again. God bless! And I'll see you guys and girls in the next video. Goodbye.
안녕.